从本周开始呢，全球部落志单元要为您播出一系列由其他国家的原住民族电视台所制作的专题报道。其实除了台湾之外呢，世界上有许多的国家也都设置有原住民族电视台，像是纽西兰、澳洲、加拿大、挪威等等。而就在2008年，纽西兰的毛利电视台发起了第一届的世界原住民广电大会，简称 WITBC， 希望可以串联全世界重要的原住民媒体，共同的来为原住民族发声。第一届的 WITBC 成功的在世界原住民族媒体之间呢建立了共识，并且确立每2年都要召开一次大会的原则，还组成了世界原住民广电联盟，简称 WITBN。我们现在在荧幕上所看到的呢，就是在2016年11月在澳洲雪梨所举办的第5届大会的开幕式。WITBN呢，除了定期聚会之外呢，也建立起各国原住民媒体交流、互动、合作的平台。除了新闻和节目的交换，也会有共同制作节目的合作。2016年的合作项目就是邀请了几个国家的原民台，就土地、文化、正义、居所、健康等全世界原住民族共同面临的挑战，个别制作专题报道，集结成一整个系列，以 Nations borders 做为主题，凸显出虽然是从单一国家的案例来探讨某个议题，但其实这些挑战、这些议题都是跨越国界的，需要共同面对。我们呢也希望可以透过其他国家的报道来反思台湾的现况。那在这个系列，第一个要为您介绍的是由加拿大原住民族电视台针对加拿大司法体系对原住民族的不正义所做的调查报道。在加拿大，原住民人口大约占了4%，但是在加拿大的联邦监狱当中呢，大约有23%的受刑人是原住民或是具有原住民的血统。而从2000年起，加拿大联邦监狱关押的原住民受刑人增加的幅度超过了50%，原住民女性受刑人甚至增加了超过90%。目前每3位女性受刑人当中呢，就有1位呢是原住民。而在省级的女性监狱当中，比例就更高了，原住民女性受刑人占了41%。在监狱中会有这样高比例的原住民受刑人，殖民历史和寄宿学校制度的持续到今天的负面影响是重要的因素之一。而原住民妇女所遭受到的暴力和种族歧视，政府政策和法律的打压也都是原因。原住民女性受刑人从逮捕、审判、定罪、服刑到出狱后的扶助，往往受到更多的、更加不平等的待遇，还有严重的歧视。许多人甚至是直接批评了在监狱当中的原住民女性受刑人根本是毫无正义可言，无法参加一些可以帮助他们申请假释和重返社会的项目。而就算有些省份呢是已经通过了法律，要建立原住民妇女的康复之家，但是很多年过去了，仍然是停留在计划的阶段。加拿大原住民电视台的这则专题报道呢，要从这位 Cree 族女性 Connie Ox 因为不公平的审判过程而入狱，奋力为自己洗刷罪名的故事，来探讨加拿大的司法制度，也希望族人的正义之路可以不再如此的漫长。
The cypress hills and sky are now the walls of Connie Oak's world. Not long ago, it was razor wire and concrete. This is her journey, from here to here. And this story begins with a woman named Wendy Scott.
You've been lying for 2 weeks. 2 weeks straight. Let me ask you, do you like attention?
I've lied my whole life, pretty much. The long weekend turned tragic Sunday morning when police were called to the Crestwood Trailer Park. Upon arrival, they found the body of Medicine Hat man Casey Donovan Armstrong.
Local police continue to investigate what could be the city's first homicide of the year.
Officials say they have several leads and maintain this is an isolated incident.
There is no evidence at all to suggest that the community has any need to fear.
Medicine Hat's not a huge community. It's huge news, and so there's huge pressure on the municipal police force.
This was a murder that was outstanding for several months.
I was the file commander, so I oversaw the investigation. We had a person of interest list of several people, and we noticed some discrepancies in specifically Wendy Herman's statement. So we had that analyzed, and we believed at that time that she was lying in her statement. So we brought her back in for re-interviews. I believe there was a few of them, and during one of those, she confessed to the homicide.
Police interrogation tapes of Wendy Scott obtained by APTN show a woman who is confused, who tells police that she can never keep her story straight.
Half the time, I get my things mixed up in my own head, and that's why I've been in special needs, because I get things mixed up in my own head. I can think one weekend I was doing this and one weekend I was doing it and getting them all mixed up.
I met her, oh my goodness, once, and we actually went to go make a buy from her. And
Buy for what?
Buy some crack from her. I actually didn't have any money, so she actually gave me a couple pieces for free.
Oakes says she allowed Wendy Scott to live with her around the time of the murder as a favor for a friend.
Wendy was crucial to the case against Connie because it was the only evidence. Wendy's evidence was the only evidence that linked Connie to this death. There was no other evidence that linked her to this death. Nothing.
In January of 2012, Medicine Hat police investigators traveled to Edmonton where Oakes was serving time for armed robbery. They were asking questions about the murder.
I said, yeah, I knew Casey, that he's my friend. He was a friend. And I explained to them that Casey's got a big heart, just an open door heart. As the interview progressed, they were saying, just fess up to it. And there too, I was adamant. I'm not admitting to shit that I didn't do.
She phoned right away, picked it up, and she told me, what, I'm charged with murder. She told me, what? I told her, I couldn't believe what she was saying to me, but she said I didn't do it. Maybe crazy, but I didn't do it, she said.
The trial of Connie Oakes began in Medicine Hat, Alberta in November of 2013 in front of a jury of 5 men and 7 women. None were First Nation. The Crown Star witness is Wendy Scott.
Ms. Scott entered a fairly early guilty plea, was sentenced to 10 years. The preliminary hearing for Ms. Oakes was for first-degree murder. That was knocked down to second degree.
The one woman who testified my client was at the scene really is an unsavory witness, unreliable, unethical, and not worthy of being relied upon.
The court hears the murder is gruesome. Armstrong's bathroom is coated in blood. The 48-year-old man is found by a friend in the bathtub with a puncture wound through the neck. Police never find the murder weapon.
The murder was committed with a knife. Now, when Wendy was asked on the stand to describe this knife, she said it was a 3-meter knife. And she held up her hands. And I asked her to confirm for me, how big was that knife? And she said, 3 meters. And I said, so I held up actually a sheet of paper and I said, okay, this is 8.5 by 11 inches long. How long was that knife, compared to this? And again, she said 3 meters, which helped really put her evidence in context, almost childlike.
I mean, there's mistakes, and then there's not knowing what a meter is.
So forensic evidence at the scene, they told us initially that the weapon was a knife.
But you've never found the knife?
We found a knife that could possibly have been used, but there was not enough forensic evidence to link it directly to the murder weapon. But we believe we found a weapon that could have been used in it.
But it wasn't the weapon. We don't know.
That's right. The forensic lab couldn't say 100% without a reasonable doubt that that was the weapon.
Okay, because they found no trace of anything on the knife.
That's correct.
Okay.
Despite not being the murder weapon, the judge allows the Crown to present this knife to the jury. And then there's this, a bloody boot print on the floor of Armstrong's bathroom. Was it the footprint of the killer?
We tried to find out exactly what manufacturer, brand, style. We estimated the size. I believe it was a men's size 10 or 11, whatever it was, a large size footprint. So we try and find exactly where it was made, that type of thing, but we were never able to follow up.
With no murder weapon, no DNA, fingerprints, or information on the boot print, the Crown relies on Wendy Scott's testimony, which was riddled with at least 50 inconsistencies and contradictions. And at trial, Scott admits to lying under oath.
Ms. Scott's testimony was, it was like a pinball machine. It seemed to go from one end to another.
That did not match the evidence that did exist. Did not match where, in fact, Mr. Casey died. Did not match the evidence of a size 11 or 12 men's boot print, bloody boot print. Did not match her description of what happened, her description of the area, her description of the individuals involved did not match.
I went to the trial as I sat there all that week. I couldn't believe what I heard. As I sat there that whole week, I was trying to listen to what evidence did they have, and they didn't have any.
Given the lack of evidence against her, Oak's defense team is confident the Crown's case will fail. On the advice of her lawyer, Oakes doesn't testify in her own defense. After the 8-day trial featuring 13 witnesses, Connie Oakes' future is in the hands of 12 Medicine Hat jurors.
Family and friends of Casey Armstrong burst into cheers, applause, and tears in a Medicine Hat courtroom this afternoon as a jury found Connie Oakes guilty of second-degree murder in his death.
And when the jury came back in and they said guilty, I thought, oh my goodness. Oh, my heart just dropped to my feet, and I couldn't believe it. So as I walked out of there, I seen Connie, and I looked at her, and I didn't know what to think. But I knew that she did not do it.
I actually thought that I was walking that day, but I don't know. I was just in shock. I was in shock that it came back guilty.
Connie Oakes was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 14 years in June 2014.
There's, again, no doubt in my mind after watching the interviews and watching Wendy and knowing Wendy's capacity that Connie killed Casey Armstrong.
I think the community is safer. I think the process worked in this situation.
Throughout the time that Connie was in custody, this sentence, it was as though travesty and tragedy dogged her at every step. Her son became ill. Her son was ill, and he was dying.
Before I got sick, it wasn't so bad. It was just, she'll get out eventually, and I'll be around, and we'll do the things that we did last time. But now, I can't. I can't do those things. Even if she does get out. That's another reason why I wanted to go on this trip, because what if she does get out and I still can't do anything? Before I could at least walk around and go places. Now I can't sit in a vehicle for 3 hours.
You wanted to go to Victoria?
Yeah.
To see
just to see something. I've never been to Victoria. Never even seen the ocean.
Joseph marries his longtime sweetheart Courtney on May 16th of 2015. It was a Saturday.
It was just me and him. He was able to stand up straight while we were exchanging rings. He almost looked like he was starting to cry, but he was holding it in. He's really an extremely strong man, and I think we were brought together for a reason. I haven't left Joe's side since he got cancer or anything like that. I just know he needed me, so there's nothing in the world that could tear us apart or anything like that.
Tell me why you decided to get married on Saturday.
I just don't. My illness, I don't know when it's supposed to take me, but I don't think it will. But just in case it does, I'd like to get to not tired before then. That's my main reason to do it. Just to be united as a one person.
Joseph Carey's doctors give him just weeks to live. Oakes applies for appeal bail and escorted leave to see her son one last time.
I really had my hopes up for appeal bail. So I could go spend what little time that Joe did have. Can I have Kleenex? And he actually held out for as long as he could.
He suffered lots. But he said, I'm waiting for my mom to come home because they're supposed to bring her down to come and visit him. He was waiting for that. Then after found out she couldn't come. And I think that's when Joe just let go, to give up.
On the basis of her behavior and her refusal to accept responsibility for her offense, they refused to allow her to go out and see her dying son. Her son died while she was in custody, wrongfully convicted.
Joseph Carey dies in the early morning hours of May 23rd, 2015. It was a Saturday.
I mean, we were only married for exactly a week, so I didn't get the whole marriage touchy-feely, experience, but I'm still thankful for what I did get with him. I look at my boy, I see him lots in Joe. I see lots of him in Joe. And that's the hardest part. Seeing him grow up to become more like his dad. And he's not even around, but he's still slowly becoming like his father. And I'm thankful for that.
I had made him about a king-size star blanket out of light blue, white camouflage. Was actually the first one I've ever made. I was denied access to go say goodbye to him at the funeral. So one of the elders here she sat with me on a Sunday, the morning after the wake. No, the day before the wake, and we had a ceremony with the blanket. I wrapped myself in it. She conducted the ceremony, then we sent it off. My sister came, picked it up, and took it to him. I actually wanted him wrapped up in the blanket in the coffin, but she made it the day of the burial.
Joseph's death leaves Oaks with one living son, Jared.
Just keep strong, I guess. Because that's what I pretty much do, just try not to kill yourself. Stay strong, you just gotta wait and have patience. Wait and have patience. That's all I gotta say. Just gotta have patience.
Yes, we need her bad. The boys need her. Baby Joe's gotta know her grandma, you know. Never seen her.
Then, an unexpected development. Wendy Scott begins to change her story after Oaks is sent to prison. She files an affidavit stating she did not believe that Oaks was at the trailer when the murder happened. And then, in October 2015, the Alberta Court of Appeal orders a new trial for Wendy Scott, setting the stage for Oaks' own appeal.
The conviction being overturned in Wendy's case made it virtually impossible that Connie's was not going to be overturned.
So it may seem obvious, but what do you want to see happen here?
I want to see her set free. We all know that she didn't do it.
On April 6th, the Court of Appeal of Alberta overturns Oaks' conviction and orders a new trial. Then, 2 weeks later, this happens.
I was just cleaning up in my house and whatnot, and all of a sudden, all the music stopped.
There has been a major development in the Connie Oaks murder case.
I almost fell to my knees. I was shocked. I had to sit down and have a smoke and process it again. It's like, did I just hear that?
The Crown Prosecutor has requested a stay of proceedings in the new first-degree murder case against Oaks. Oaks was charged with the murder of Medicine Hat resident Casey Armstrong back in 2011. She was convicted on the charge, but a Court of Appeals overturned the decision on April 6th and ordered a new trial. The stay of proceedings means Oaks is now free to go.
I always knew that I would walk free one day, but I just didn't know how long it was going to take me to prove my innocence. Hi! Give me a hug.
I'm so happy to see you.
Happy to see you too.
Don't leave me so long next time, please. We need you here.
I'm home. I'm home. It's made me stronger. I'm back onto my spirituality, and that kept me sane. I guess I'm more calmer, more at peace with that whole waiting process. Give it to the Creator, as our teachers tell us, right? I just want to sit at home while my mom's at work, have supper ready for her, have the house clean, maybe do what I need to do out here, and run, and get to know my grandson, and let Jared know that I'm home.
Huh? Hey, Nico says.